You wrote an article that we always talk about, things I think I know about the Browns. You have 5 of them. Let's break them down 3 and 2. So, first 3, wide receivers flash in the passing game, offensive tackle concerns, and showcase Huntley. So take us through those 3.
So we'll start with Huntley because they're doing it. Well, I wrote this before it happened, and my thought was they may, DTR looked great, right, Dave? And they're probably going to try to maybe, you would think, flip or trade Huntley at some point here. My thought was swap them in the order that they play so that Huntley can play against the threes or the bottom of the 90-man roster that you're seeing in the preseason. So he looks better, right? You want to showcase him. And that's ultimately what they decided to do. So he's going to get the second half here in preseason game 2. So that kind of came to fruition. The offensive tackle concerns is very interesting, right? So, they have James Hudson out there, and by all accounts, that's not working at all, right? That's been very bad, not great. Is Wills going to be back on time? I don't know. I have my questions. You know what I mean? We're only 3 some weeks out now, 4 weeks out, whatever it is, and he's not been out on the field doing anything. So, and Hudson is kind of a disaster over there so far. The question is, and I was talking with Quincy last night, Carrier, and he pointed this out that maybe if it's a Fetty and a Denergy are the guys they're looking at as the backup, and they're just giving James Hudson every chance to try to prove himself at left tackle in the preseason here. So maybe it's not as bad as we think, and they think as those other guys is better than Hudson. So I think that's an interesting angle there. My thought going into having that conversation with Quincy was you're probably going to need if Wills isn't ready, I would be looking to scour other rosters and just try to find a rosterable left tackle in case you need him week 1. And the last one here is wide receivers flash in the passing game. I thought that was the best part for me. Besides the defensive line, the best part of the preseason game was that wide receivers looked open, especially when Winston was in. There was a lull when Huntley was in, but when DTR was in as well. Wide receivers were getting open. They were making catches. I thought the wide receiver core looked really solid.
So here's the thing with Wills. When he's been banged up, he hasn't played really well. If you think about it, he was getting kind of beat up physically and was not able to play the way he was when he was healthy. So my question is it just a guy that if he's not feeling great, he has trouble doing what he's supposed to do? That's a concern. That's a huge concern for an offensive lineman.